It's me, Uncle Waluigi!
Video Game Dunkey, a donkey that has been video gaming for over 10 years. You may know him from his classic League of Legends videos, his rap career, or most likely, as the creator of Snake Noise. As of April 1st, 2022, he has amassed an audience of over 7 million subscribers and 3.3 billion video views. As a video game man myself, I must say that when I first heard of Dunkey, I latched onto the story very quickly. He plays video games. I play video games. He started his channel in October. I started my channel in October. He reviewed Elden Ring. I reviewed Elden Ring the next day. I had been copying this man's every move without even knowing it. If I didn't know any better, I may have guessed that he was my gay father the whole time. But who is Video Game Dunkey actually? Where did he come from? Why does he even exist? In this video essay, I will perform an exhaustive, meticulously constructed, and heavily researched 8-hour TED Talk full of sweet royalty-free music from YouTube's sound library about the gamer quadruped himself. What made him this way? What is the attraction? What keeps us fascinated? This is the story of Dunkey. The domestic donkey, reads Wikipedia, is a hoofed animal in the family Equidae, the same family as the horse. This has led some people to believe that Video Game Dunkey is deliberately nitpicking and biased towards video games with horses in them, such as Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain, The Last of Us Part 2, Red Dead Redemption 2, and The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. The donkey was initially domesticated in Africa 5,000 to 6,000 years ago, which has led to some confusion with respect to Dunkey's ethnicity, with many believing that he is in fact African American, despite insisting on Puerto Rican heritage. It is worth noting that as a fellow Puerto Rican myself, it was nice to see people like me represented on the internet at a time where that wasn't very common, also known as 2010. It is also theorized that donkey in this context could refer to Donkey Kong, the iconic monkey played by Seth Rogen. The word video is a loose portmanteau of the Latin word videre, which is to see, and the English word audio, which is a synonym for sound, most often used in the context of recording, transmission, or reproduction. The term video first emerged in the 1930s. And the word game comes from the Old English word gamen, which means amusement or fun. The first video game was invented in 1958 by physicist William Higginbotham, and it was called Tennis for Two. Nintendo would go on to plagiarize this video game in its entirety and slap Mario characters on it. On January 30th, 1991, Video Game Dunkey was born Seamus Xavier Dankey to Norwegian parents on a pirate ship. Although he was born at sea, an ongoing territorial dispute between the USA and the USSR was reaching its boiling point, and if he was born just one day later, he would have been Russian, and his name would have been nearly impossible to pronounce. His life was changed by a traumatic experience when Johnny Depp, preparing for his role in Pirates of the Caribbean, launched cannons at the ship, killing both of his parents. With no parental support and no direction in life, Dunkey was drafted into the military, where he was part of Operation Genesis, which involved staging an attack on the Atari headquarters and framing Sega for it, ultimately resulting in the Bit Wars. Fast forward to 1995, when a little website called Newgrounds was created for the express purpose of making cartoons, where Mr. Mime f***s Ash's mother. Dunkey, desperate for a golden ticket out of the Bit Wars, and realizing this Klondike gold rush of opportunity, decided to put his own spin on this. Unfortunately, his videos made the mistake of not having Mario be a degenerate who abuses his brother, so he once again faded back into obscurity, and for a while, he stayed that way. Until another opportunity came along. YouTube had already been a thing for 5 years when Dunkey started his big journey. Breaking into the YouTube game this late was a foolhardy endeavor. Making yourself stand out among such comedy legends as Smosh, Epic Mealtime, and various other e-celebrities that would probably end up addicted to crack seemed like an impossibility. Dunkey needed a hook, something that set him apart, and that's when he discovered his talent for beating Battletoads. As IGN said in their top 10 hardest video games video, Battletoads was thought to be literally impossible to beat because it was made by Rare, the developers of Knack Sports. So with his new speedrunning strategy called Save States, Dunkey offered something new, something nobody had ever seen before. Video games. The genre of video game videos on YouTube is most often attributed to James Rolfe, but scholars and historians now argue that Dunkey's achievements were ultimately dismissed as a result of racism. But although his Battletoads videos would put him on the map, his scholarly gaming critiques is what would carry him to fame and fortune. Anton Ego once said, "In many ways, the work of a critic is easy. We risk very little and enjoy a position over others who offer up their work and themselves to our judgment. But there are times when a critic truly risks something, and that is in the discovery and defense of the new. The world is often unkind to new talent, new creations. The new needs friends." Enter Knack, a brand new intellectual property exclusively for the PlayStation. When Knack came out, it was universally panned by critics, who were particularly critical of the fact that the game had zero redeeming qualities. And it was here that Dunkey saw another opportunity. He knew his place in society. Knack was Ratatouille, and he was Anton Ego. He dedicated his entire online presence to defending this game until his last breath. It is because of him, and him alone, that this game remains in the cultural zeitgeist at all. But of course, having an unpopular opinion on the internet could spell trouble. Enter Johnny Microsoft, a war criminal from East Bimbleton. He saw that non-Microsoft properties were getting a lot of positive reception, while they were getting bombarded with scathing criticisms for their DRM practices. Johnny needed to turn the war around and came up with a plan. After having illegally spied on Dunkey for months, Johnny learned that he was having difficulty paying his rent. Johnny decided to take advantage of the situation and offered Dunkey 2 months of rent and a McDonald's coupon to make 4 videos promoting Brothers, A Tale of Two Sons, a new indie game that was recently put on the Xbox Live Arcade. Dunkey took the deal on the condition that he could do whatever he wanted in the videos, but Johnny Microsoft did not expect Dunkey to actually do whatever he wanted.
Why is so boring? This is so boring.
So he personally took the video off the internet with his bare hands and canceled the deal. This sudden betrayal undoubtedly played a huge role in what would become Dunkey's descent into insanity. Enter League of Legends, a sick, twisted psyop to condition gamers into serial killers. It was here that Dunkey started doing the opposite of his destiny. Despite the horrors of League of Legends, these videos would prove to be very lucrative during a time of struggle, whereas a beggar, he could not be a chooser. It was at this time that we see the beginning of Dunkey's evil Spider-Man arc. Notice how he's wearing blue in this picture, and then look at this picture where he's wearing black, just like Spider-Man. He became so evil that he actually admitted that he never liked Knack in the first place.
You guys, I have to admit something. I don't actually like Knack.
Then he said Banjo-Tooie was bad. And after that, he went on to say that people who don't like The Last of Us 2 don't know what they're talking about, despite several people making it abundantly clear that Neil Druckmann made Joel's backpack the wrong color. On July 23rd, 2018, Dunkey made a video on Octopath Traveler. In the video, he criticizes the game. He was lambasted for racism. Then he died or something. Yeah, he's dead.